you know.
In paddle, remind me, because I have not played that many games yet. So like, how's the scoring work?
So it's just like tennis, like 15, 30,
Okay.
what is it, 40, and then game.
How many games do you think you'd have to play against like the guy who won
Yeah.
to win one game?
No, there would, it doesn't matter.
No, he would wear out. He would wear out. He would like give up.
Yeah, but so would he.
No. He would want to win so bad.
This is how I honestly believe this to my core. Two of us could play against one of them, and then he would still win.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Two of us against one, and we could hit at any part of the court we want, and they would still win, and we wouldn't get a game out. As long as when we served, we would have to serve into the same spot every single time. Like they're just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like it just,
I didn't realize the difference. It was that far, but it's far.
No, it's crazy.
It's far.
It just everything looks so easy. It's impressive.
Yeah.
But I really hope people go check it out and play. It's amazing. It'll drive your wife crazy. My wife hates it. She hates how much I love it.
Because you're having fun.
I'm having so much fun. And it's interesting because when she has fun doing things that don't involve me, I'm like really happy for her.
Because you got a break.
Because I get to play paddle. All roads lead to battle. But when I go to play paddle, she's furious about that for some reason. And she's like, I'll play with you. And I'm like, no, you won't.
Yeah, man.
I'll beat you.
Yeah. It's crazy how they're built like that, right?
Yeah.
You're retarded. So you have a career that keeps you out every weekend and at night, and now you picked a sport that you're playing all the time during the day that you have to be away for like 2 or 3 hours at a time. So now you're just never home.
When's he supposed to play paddle if he's going to be working overnight?
Yeah, that's a good point.
But that's why she hates it.
No, you can't pick a nighttime.
But here's what I say.
That's why she hates
when
it.
I'm playing paddle in the morning, I'm not out partying at night. So it's actually the best thing for her. Also, if I play golf, that's like 4, 5, 6 hours. I picked a sport that's only like 2 or 3. You're welcome.
I play golf as well.
See?
I do both. And it's great.
And he has domestic disputes a lot. You know?
Yeah. He's had his fifth relationship in 5 years right now.
Yeah, but this is the good one. It's going to win.
You described your Sunday, and I was like, how is she okay with this? She's like, 9 o'clock, pints with the boys, 3 hours of golf. Then we go watch the football game. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, does she not go, hey, wait, you can't do this?
We did Christmas Day together.
Okay.
So the next day, it's like, go away.
Oh, wow. She has like enough?
It's just fine. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Also, she's probably working. She works in hospitality. She works in
I need to get my wife a job. That's the thing.
No, but he said probably working. He had no idea what the fuck she was doing.
She does.
She's got a gift basket or some shit. Who knows? Derek Jeter, I love this guy. That's great, honey. This is how much he loves going to the pub. He didn't even finish the golf match. I don't know if you remember the story. He's like, we played half. We said, fuck it. Like, golfing is about drinking. You're like, let's just stop the golf part.
We were drinking on the course as well. We took Tim's with us.
I know. You're allowed to do that, right?
Yeah.
That's a part of it.
Is golfing, like, I know you're super rich now that you're a successful big-time comedian, but golf in America is like a rich person sport.
It is.
Is it middle class as well?
It's sort of seen as that in the UK, but like I played golf when I was a teenager, and when like we had fucking nothing.
So you can be middle class, you can be normal and play golf.
Yeah, totally.
In America, that's not the case.
Like a set of golf clubs for like a beginner's set that aren't very good will set you back like, I don't know, £300.
Wow.
Well, like secondhand, you could probably get it for 100. So like you could start like with very little money, and then to get onto like a publicly owned course, you're paying like £20 to play a game.
Oh, that's not bad.
Like a really good course will cost you hundreds, and really good golf clubs will cost you thousands.
That's the thing. In America, it's like $250,000 to join a golf club. It's a country club.
It's nowhere near that.
Or $1 million sometimes to join.
Yeah, it's nowhere near that.
Yeah, but maybe in Florida,
That's also,
New York
around the
thing.
city, it's like a lot harder.
This is a different, like in Florida, I grew up playing golf, like very middle class golf.
got it. Where there's more land, you have more golf
public courses
courses,
are
and then
same,
it's a little bit more
I have
accessible.
like middle class friends that live on golf courses. They live like very regular lives, and they're on like the 18th and like some
Dude,
random
I
spot.
want to play that course.
Oh yeah, that's what my brother does every week. He plays at
Have you played
Castleberry.
before?
Yeah, I have them horrible, but I love the idea that there's like projects surrounding the golf
Yes.
course.
Yes, that's what it was. There was one course where it was just a links course, so it was just like 9 holes or whatever.
Yeah.
and it was just in the hood. And then you would just get random people going to play.
That's fine.
And they wouldn't really take care of the greens. It was just all overgrown and shit.
So a lot of the publicly owned courses in like Liverpool are a bit shit, and then there's like the middle ones. The middle ones are normally the ones that I'll play, and they're good. But I've played like good courses a handful of times, and like what these like professionals are playing on. Like I seen a video the other week, and it was like, do you think you could win the US Open if you started on the green?
That's a great what's it called? Okay.
And the answer's no.
Not even close. Do you know what he's asking right there? What he's
Yeah,
saying?
but like the green is close to the hole, right?
The green is the patch with the shortest
the green's
grass.
probably
So
about-
you couldn't win?
The green could be between the size of this room and 4 times the size of this room, depending on the hole.
Oh, okay.
And
You
If it
start
was that
on
big.
every green. That would be a great fucking matchup. You get the best golfer in the world, and then
I
you
knew I
get
could do that
me. You actually play golf. But me and Al, guys who don't play golf, and we start on the green, and they start at the tee. And we play 18.
they beat you by
Yeah.
between 30 and 50 shots.
It's like putting on
and I might be being really nice as well.
But we played mini golf. Though.
Exactly.
We might have an advantage.
I'm good at that putt shit.
Yeah.
Putt shit.
Until you can read a green. So, like, the best course I've ever played on was about 6 months ago with a friend of mine called Thomas. It's called the Shire. It's about an hour outside of London. And there's a practice green at the start of the course for you to just, like, practice putting before you tee off. And I dropped the golf ball from just a height. And it just went its own way and then rolled off the green. And if you tap it, it will go. But these pro golfers can look at a green and see if they drop the ball here, exactly where it's going to end up. And that's what you're playing against. And you just be looking at a green going, right, I'm here, the hole's there, I'll hit it that way. But what you actually need to do is hit it over there so that it does that. And
I
they
could
know
figure
how
that
to
out.
do that. So you'd go that way, and then you'd be off the green.
No, I'd figure that out. I'd figure that out.
This doesn't sound
We gotta
hard
set
at
this
all.
up.
Yeah.
It doesn't
You
sound
also-
hard at all.
tour greens would be even harder. If you're playing against actual tour players, they're playing on greens that are faster than what you played.
Yeah.
It's like ice.
Yo,
Which
I
is
was
good
talking.
grass.
I was talking to one of these guys that
played on
it's because a lot of guys that play tennis are now like kind of playing paddle. And there's this one guy, Willie Kanyas was his name. He beat Federer like 3 times. He was like I think number 8 of the world at one point in time. And he was saying like how the game of tennis changed. I had no clue that they were changing the greens. Like they were making it slower, making it faster, and they're changing the game to make it more friendly for TV. Essentially, changing
Why they
like the
changed the colour of the
density of the ball.
Made it green.
They changed the color, but they're also changing like the size of it.
Oh, really?
So I think what happened
didn't hear
was
this.
there was a time like, have you ever seen that picture of the of what the grass tennis courts called? I guess just grass
Lawn?
Yeah, lawn. So what the lawn tennis courts and how they've changed over the years, like which patches are the most used up. So back in the day when the game was at the net, you would see it all chopped up. And now the game is almost never at the net. They're both behind the line and they're both ripping it. And it's because they've changed the game to make it more exciting, to extend the volleys. When we were growing up, the guys, it would just be a hard serve because the greens were so fast. And then maybe 1 or 2 shots, point would end.
Yeah.
So they changed the game to make it more enjoyable for TV. I don't think that this is a coincidence at all, outside of the Williams sisters being like superstars. The women's game picks up at the same time that the men's game is just serve and then done.
Oh, interesting.
Because the women don't have the power.
Yeah.
So the rallies are much longer and the game is more interesting.
Watching women
that-
is
and
better than watching the men.
It's so much better. And like the women technically get paid more.
Wait, what do you? Oh, because they play less.
Yeah, so the
this is
prize
interesting.
money for men's and women's Wimbledon is the same, but men is best of 7 sets and women is best of 5.
So look at the greens.
That's right.
Or it might be 3 and 5.
Look how much of the area where you would volley has eroded. And this is in 2024. There's almost nothing. Same exact course. And everybody's just behind the line.
That's interesting.
They do this with a lot of sports. Like baseball, they eliminated the shift. You used to have like the dead ball era of basketball in the early 2000s when they
What was
allowed,
that?
That was when they allowed they basically like allowed defenses to be different with like hand checking and things to stop Shaq.
Oh, yeah.
They had like the hack a Shaq rule that changed. Like this happens to
Yeah.
make the sport better.
And it is
Cork bats and stuff. Like that was the whole thing.
Well, that was like you're not supposed to do it, but like baseball's changed a lot to make it.
But you
better.
should,
Yeah, of
because then
course.
the guys end up making more money, and you know. That's the thing about these sports like tennis is like we know about the top 20 guys that are making all this money. The other like 400, 500 are not making all this money. They're like pros at the local country clubs or whatever. So you want the prize money to go up, but you should manipulate the game.
Yeah. I'd be kind of pissed though, right? Like if you get great at a game and then they change it, and you're like, what the fuck? Like
I asked him about that, and he goes, because I think there was a moment where his skill set worked for what was happening, and I think he could really. I think it was what's called like a pusher, where basically you could defend. You just get to every single ball, you just exhaust them. You just get to every single ball, you exhaust them. And then the game changed. It might have moved outside of his skill set, but he's like, you got to be able to adapt. Like that's the nature of this.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be great at any sport, you can't be great at that
Just
tiny
one
bit of the
thing.
sport.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, well, you've sort of made it harder for me to use that. It's like, well, then you weren't a tennis player. You were that guy.
Yeah.
You've got to be good at the whole, you got to be able to get around the whole thing.
yeah.
It's like with football, like the game changes every sort of like 5 to 15 years. Like a new coach comes in and is like,
What
right,
about
well,
it? They cry a little less.
Like, you play like that. We'll play like this. Like at the minute, the game's very like possession based for the top teams. Like we're going to keep the ball until you make a little mistake and the wrong player runs at us, and then we'll find that gap. But like I think that's about to change again. Like pace is not quite as important now for the best teams, because when there's a game of football and you've got like the full pitch, and a team who's bad against a really good team will just line up right in front of their own goal. So there's very little space in between the lines for them to find. So like this team's fast players don't get to utilize their pace very much, because it's like,
They neutralize the pace.
where are we going to run from?
Crowd in the box, right?
So then the best teams want the best technically gifted players, because they can find
Passes,
the spaces in between this rather than trying to run through it.
Yeah.
They gotta stop that crying shit.
What, when they get hurt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they get fake hurt.
Yeah,
They
it's
gotta
fucking
stop.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how you curb that. Like, do they do like they need to do more yellows for guys that don't actually? Like,
That's what they do in
dives.
the NBA. You get a flagrant for flopping.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what they need to do.
You get booked for diving in football.
Yeah.
So if
rarely though.
yeah, but because for it to be a dive, it has to be you weren't touched and you're faking. But if they touch them at all, it's like, oh, maybe it did hurt him that much. Maybe he's just this guy.
Yeah, maybe you're a pussy. That's what